Hi everyone, it's Chenso from Reality Art Pod, here to talk about the Challenge 41, Episode 17, titled 10 Toes Down. Last week on the challenge, players raced around in the dark, and when Sydney and Turbo won the daily, and Jeremy successfully staked a claim on Olivia, daily losers Cedric and Michaela defeated newly partnered Aviv and Will in elimination. I put a link in the description to my playlist, so you can catch up on my previous recaps. If you like the content, consider liking, subscribing, and using my link to try Paramount Plus for free. But let's dive into it. Back at the house, Cedric celebrates his first elimination win, but still feels like it's him and Michaela against everyone. Theo and Olivia are happy to have lasted this long, and Olivia finally realizes that she's happy that she got a good partner in Jeremy. Aviv left everyone goodbye notes, including an encouraging letter to Jeremy, which makes him feel better about ditching her as a partner. Will wrote Justin a letter that Nani reads first, where Will talks crap about Nani and accuses Justin on being in on Will's demise. Nani and Justin are both still annoyed that they were in the coin flip. Nani says she was using Will for sex and he needs to get over it, but in confessional, Nani says she genuinely cared for Will. Those stories don't quite add up. Justin thinks that Cedric and Michaela orchestrated the whole situation and insinuates that they're hypocritical for doing that and reading the Bible all day. But who cares about this? Players are going to the club. Well, I guess they care about this. This conversation continues at the club. Why even go to the club at this point? At least take a break to twerk on each other. Just once. Sydney tells Michaela that she and Cedric are taking the fall for the vote. Turbo gets annoyed with Sydney for getting involved in this situation. What else was Sydney supposed to do? Nobody's twerking? There's nothing else. Basically, Michaela and Cedric are denying that they requested Jeremy and Aviv as opponents last week, which they did request. This is infuriating Nani, who isn't even part of the conversation. She interjects herself, popping off on Michaela. Out of fairness to Nani, this is what happens when you're one of the only people drinking in the club while everyone else is eating. You can hear Nani shouting from space. Nani's now moved on to Cedric, angry with him for not warning Will that Jeremy was staking a claim. Everyone's now turning on Cedric and Michaela, with Sydney also calling them liars and hypocrites for reading their Bibles, and Jeremy says Cedric is a complete liar who can't be trusted at all. Nani shouts, "As long as you stand 10 toes down, I can run whatever you say to me." And oop, Nani said the thing, but she's just saying whatever at this point. I didn't like everyone piling on Cedric and Michaela, as you can see them both defending themselves at both sides, and the way the other players brought their religion into this was weird. Players head to their daily global exchange. Chained together, players will bike back and forth between their global maps, putting their labels on the countries that correspond, only able to transport one label at a time on their bikes. The team with the most correct answers will win the daily, and least correct head straight to elimination. Players get started with Cedric and Michaela getting to a quick lead, running to their map, despite Michaela's injury. To me, this challenge is ridiculously difficult. Knowing where 32 of these countries are on this map, bet it ain't me. Adrian takes a tumble off her bike, but she rallies. It's so embarrassing when the show expects the players to know where all these countries are, and then they spell New Zealand like this. In the end, the team with the most right answers, Turbo and Sydney, win the daily, with Sydney having carried the team in both the biking and the geography. The bottom two teams were Cedric and Michaela and Justin and Nani, but in the end, Cedric and Michaela have the least correct and will head straight into elimination against the house vote, which is definitely gonna be Nani and Justin, as three teams are voting and Theo and Olivia obviously won't vote for each other. They speed through the nomination vote, which could have been an email, as Nani and Justin get voted in predictably. Sydney and Turbo are annoyed that everyone's acting so happy, and Turbo is still agitated with Nani for making a deal with his nemesis Theo last week, but Turbo's still rooting for Nani to come back. Nani and Justin hype each other up, with a montage of Nani losing the challenge. One thing about Nani, she wants to win that challenge. Cedric is hoping for a physical elimination so he can prove what he can do. So players head to the elimination, where they'll be playing what TJ calls Balls In 2.0. In each round, the guys and girls will all play a round of offense and defense. After each player plays both offense and defense, the team with the most points will score the round. The first team to win 2 rounds will win the elimination. They get started with the guys and girls both playing simultaneously on 2 separate goalposts. Michaela and Cedric take first offense and easily push Nani and Justin around, both scoring. Then Justin scores against Cedric, but Michaela flings Nani, giving Cedric and Michaela the point for the first round. In round 2, Michaela and Cedric again both score, and Justin and Nani are both unable to score, which wins the elimination for Cedric and Michaela, with TJ telling the remaining 4 teams that they've made it to the final. So this ends Justin's time on the challenge, who I'd predicted would be a lovable underdog, and he delivered on that. Even in the premiere, he had to deal with being voted into elimination, and with Derek promising him that he wouldn't vote him in and going back on it, which made it easy for the viewer to side with and root for Justin. He beats Rogan in a really tough elimination where he showed his athleticism from cheer, tumbling in the barrel, and he has a really great run this season, winning 2 dailies and a Stake Your Claim challenge. He was well liked by the other players and a great partner to work with, especially for Nani. This was a great rookie season for him. I'd love to see him become a regular on the show, and I'm sure it's likely, though I think it would be more entertaining to see him on a bit of a younger cast who are also messier. There's something we miss out on when these young kids are in the house with so many people in their 40s and 50s. It's like they're on vacation with their aunts and uncles. But I think if we give them more people their age to play with, they'll have more fun, and so will we. And this ends Nani's time on the challenge, who comes onto the season extremely fresh off a breakup, of an engagement no less. And while I give Nani a lot of crap about her being being a hypocrite and acting very entitled at times. Given the situation that she's in, she was a better person this season than I would have been. For the most part, she holds it together, doesn't lay around moping. She decides to get over Casey by getting under Will, which was fine by me. Do what you gotta do, girl. For most of the game, Nani's in the majority alliance, with the Americans getting a huge number advantage early. She stays out of elimination pretty much the whole game, in part due to challenge performance, winning 2 dailies along the way, and her social game, where of all the vets, she probably played the best actual game, but a series of unfortunate events, like outcomes of challenges where her allies came in first and couldn't vote, led to the dismantling of her alliance, and in the last few episodes, her side loses the numbers, and she sees what was once an easy glide to the final turn to what she can obviously tell is a higher and higher chance of her going home, and she becomes very angry, which wasn't cute, but I also can't blame her, as it was probably much easier to bottle up her emotions when she was cruising through the game and hooking up with an OnlyFans model. She continues to put herself out there and give real world content season after season, so say what you want about Nani, but she clocks in and makes drama every time. Best case scenario for Nani in the future is if we can get a big team season where we can get a big team win of 4 or 5 winners, not 2, I think that would open the door for players like Nani to get their win, which would be satisfying as a viewer. But that's all I have to say about this episode. Heading into this final, I'm rooting for my girl Olivia to bring it home and get that win, or Cedric and Michaela, and I'm excited that no matter what, someone who's never won will become a champ. You know I love that kind of stuff. Let me know in the comments what you thought of Justin and Nani's elimination, and who are you rooting for coming into this final. If you like this video, consider liking and subscribing. I'll be back next week with more challenge. Until then, you know where to find me. Bye.